The first age was quite heavy for the people of Beleriand. First, the wars with Morgoth, then the uncertain peace, and again the wars. Most dream of a place where they would be free from all evil, a place where just for a moment they could forget all the sorrows of the world and enjoy an undisturbed peace. What for some was a dream, for others was everyday life, because some elves led a beautiful and carefree life in the hidden valley of Tumladen. In the center of the valley, surrounded by Echoriat mountains, there was a lonely hill called Amon Gvaret, and on that hill, elves built a beautiful city of Gondolin. Let me tell you a bit more about the origin of the city. Upon arriving in Beleriand, Turgon settled in the town of Vinyamar in Nevrast, on the west coast of Beleriand. In the year 50 of the First Age, Turgon left Nevrast and went to Tol Sirion to visit his friend Finrod. Both had enough of the northern mountains, and together they went south along the river Sirion. While resting in Elin Uyal, or Mares of Twilight, wanderers were visited by Ulmo, Vala of the Sea. He did not speak to them directly, but sent a deep sleep on them, during which the elves experienced disturbing visions. They didn't tell each other what these dreams were about, because they remembered their content as if through a fog. Besides, everyone thought that only he had such a vision. Each of them, however, felt that Ulmo obliged him to find a place that would allow his people to survive a possible attack by Morgoth. Every place they have visited since then has been treated as their potential headquarters. They were mainly looking for hidden and hard-to-reach places, which is why they most often wandered to places untouched by anyone's foot. During his travels, Finrod and his sister visited Menegroth, the court of King Thingol of Doriath. Thingol told him about the caves of the Narog. Finrod, assisted by a guide, moved there, and following the example of Thingol's seed, he created Nargothrond. Turgon's search, however, didn't give expected results. The elf still had Tirion in his memory, his former city built on the hill of Tuna. Unable to find suitable place to recreate this view, Turgon returned to Vinyamar. A year later, Ulmo appeared to him again. Vala ordered him to travel along the Sirion Valley. Thanks to the instructions of the Water Lord, Turgon found himself in the Orphalach Echor, through which he got into the hidden valley of Tumladen. In the middle of strangely flat plain, a stone hill rose. Through the eyes of his imagination, Turgon saw a city on the hill, and it reminded him of Tirion. He returned to Vinyamar and, without telling anyone, proceeded to make secret plans. However, the constructions of the city required raw materials, people, and time. A lot of time. Morgoth's spies, who have watched the movements of all the elves in Beleriand over the years, have reported to the Dark Ruler that the Firstborns wander the land without much purpose and aren't ready for war. The great enemy decided once again to test elves in the battle. Without any warning, flames burst from the Iron Mountains. The earth shook to the north, and hordes of filth escaped from Angband. The Third War of Beleriand, called Dagor Aglareb, the Glorious Battle, began. Once again, the elves proved their valor and tamed Morgoth impulses. Elves even managed to siege Angband, but the whole situation was just another concern for Turgon. The elf was afraid. He also felt that he had to use this time to put his long-term plans into life. Together with the most talented builders, he went secretly to the Hidden Valley to start building the city. Turgon insisted to being cautious all the time, and the builders had to change their guard often. In addition, they received protection from Ulmo, enchanted in the Sirion stream. The construction took 52 years. Turgon wouldn't arouse much suspicion as most of the time he stayed in Nevrast. After the construction was completed, Turgon wanted to name the city in his native language, Ondolinande, which means Rock of the Music of Water. But because of the help of the elves from Beleriand, the city was given the name Gondolin, which means Hidden Rock. In the year 116 of the First Age, Turgon and his people left Vinyamar. Before that, Ulmo had appeared to him once again and had given him the last instruction. Vala foretold that the entrance to the valley would not be discovered against Turgon's will, and that Gondolin would be the longest of the elven kingdoms to resist Morgoth's influence. Ulmo also promised to cover them while wandering through the Sirion Valley. Above all, however, Ulmo warned Turgon of possible betrayal. Turgon's people consisted 30% of Noldor, who came to Beleriand under the leadership of Fingolfin and many more Sindar. Everyone marched evenly and noiselessly in the shade of the mountains. The people of Gondolin lived for years in a hermetic society, not letting anyone in or out of a hidden valley, all in the name of safety. They saw no reason to interfere in matters outside the Tomladen Valley.